6775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries, as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof of your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first.
Quiet.
There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today National Visit Your Relatives Day. Yeah, I don't know about that one. No Dirty Dishes Day
is what it is.
And I guess we will just stick with National Cheese Souffle Day. I like that one. Cheese Souffle Day. Okay, let's see what markets are doing for us today. Do we want to know all about the markets? Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 79 points, almost 80 points. S&P 500 down 5. NASDAQ up 5. Oil is down 36 cents per barrel, 36 cents a barrel on the oil market. So we're watching all of those numbers very, very closely for you today to see what they're doing, how they affect you. We're going to talk in a minute about the pipeline. That's part of where the problem is. But hey, you know, something that's it's not really a big issue. Ask the administration. They're not worried about it because they don't buy gas. So that's probably why they couldn't care less. It's you and me that have to deal with it. We have to face the music. Cheapest gas in the land right now. Mississippi was the cheapest gas at $272.5, but now you can actually go to Louisiana, $272.2. If you're in Calizuela, you're paying $4.13.5 a gallon. Ow! Yeah, not pleasant. Cost of gasoline right here in Calizuela. Let's see what else we've got going on in the news. 303 is Wyoming. 304.3 is the national average of a gallon of gasoline. Amazing. Taxes are in the news. Yeah, yesterday was tax day. So you ready for this one? Now, I just throw some numbers out there for you to give you a little bit of information. Self.inc is our source of this. Self.inc. I don't want you to think that I just made these numbers up. I couldn't make them up. They're coming right to you from legitimate sources. How about this one? The highest lifetime taxes in our country, New Jersey. On average, $931,000 in taxes, 49.51% of earnings. Ow! You're not paying your fair share, New Jersey. Of course, those are blue states. I guess you can't say that. Massachusetts, 43.96. Connecticut, 42.79. Number 7 in the country, $734,000 in taxes, almost 45% of your income. The state of New York. Now, if you have the city of New York or the boroughs there, you're going to add that local tax to that. So right now, 44.98 in New York. Calizuela, we're number 8. Second highest percentage in the country, but number 8, 43.8% of our income goes to taxes right here in the formerly Golden State. So let's look at the other side of the spectrum. Yeah, best in the land, Tennessee, $347,000 lifetime taxes, 26.5% of earnings. 49 is Kentucky, 346,000, 26.1% of earnings. And New Mexico, 26.74% of earnings goes to taxes in New Mexico. Like what you get? Well, yeah. Let's see. Tennessee is a red state. Kentucky is a red state. New Mexico is a blue state. Okay, so that's where the taxes line up. You tell me what your thoughts are on taxes around. I just throw that out there for you. I want you to understand where we are, what the numbers look like. That's the issue right there. So we're going to continue on with those various numbers. Let's see what else we've got in the news today. Should we look at the president's schedule? Anybody want to know what the president's schedule was yesterday? Let's see. Delivered some COVID remarks about something. Did anybody pay attention? Nah, not really. Let's see if we can find anything else. 9:30. I guess he wakes up around 9:30 now. Probably the laziest president ever. Maybe it's that he's just not the healthiest president ever. But that was all he did yesterday, was delivered some remarks. That was it. He got his briefing. Yeah, every president gets their briefing. They sit there and listen to the briefings. But amazing. With all that's going on in the world, the president, he has nothing on his schedule at all. Unbelievable. If you're watching what's going on, Israel, Gaza, what's going on over there, on Saturday, the president made some comments, and I will quote him so I don't get this wrong. Palestinians and Israelis equally deserve to live in safety and security and enjoy equal measure of freedom, prosperity, and democracy. And my administration is going to continue to engage Palestinians and Israelis and other regional partners towards sustained calm, unquote. You know, I wish I had a button that says, what a bunch of crap. But, yeah, that's the closest I can get, is just flush right there. Because the president isn't doing anything. Think about this. Where do you think that the Palestinians or Hamas, do you think that they have these stockpiles of missiles? They've fired, I don't know, 1,000 missiles, I think I saw somewhere, over at Israel in the last week. Do you think they just had them stockpiled there? Do you think they could afford that? Do you think they were just sitting there waiting? Of course not. Right? So it's all coming from Iran. Why do you think the president is going to do anything with Iran? Well, maybe he'll send his son over there to get another check. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. We don't know. That's just an opinion. But here's the irony of it is that Iran knew that they couldn't do this under the Trump administration. Right? Because they knew that the president would side with Israel and increase sanctions on Iran. But do you think President Biden is going to do that? No, he wants to be friends. He wants to get back in the nuke deal that did nothing other than hurt us. Right? Think about these things, giving more money to them. Now, we had the Abraham agreements going on. Didn't hear a lot about that because it was peace in the Middle East brokered during the Trump administration. So, of course, you're not going to hear that on the lame street media. They don't want you to know about all the good things that went on. Don't give any credit there. Unbelievable on that one. Hey, how about this one? University of California no longer will consider test scores in admitting students because, and here's what they say why, is African Americans have the lowest test scores of high school kids. They don't want to have to help people bring them up. You just bring everybody else down. So what are the scores? What are the differences here? Now, it's been a long time since I took SATs. I didn't do very well on my SATs, but I think it was a different scoring system back then. Maybe it was the same one because I think they went away and then they came back. 1,600 is the perfect score. Acing the SAT, 1,600. Asian Americans on average, 1,217. Whites, 1104. Hispanics, 969. Blacks, 929. American Indians, 902. So about a 180-point difference between the blacks and whites. But I found fascinating because I love listening to Robert Woodson. He's the founder of the Woodson Center. And by his own admission, he's a civil rights activist. And he says these things are the worst possible thing that can happen in the United States. Doing this kind of stuff, worst possible thing. You're basically saying as a black person, and Mr. Woodson is black. You can't see that here on Ron Siegel Radio. But he said, why don't you think that the black people are capable of learning as much as the other groups? It's all about the race hustlers. They like this kind of thing. So instead of doing more to educate and bring up the education system, let's just drop the whole system down to the lowest common denominator. I'm going to highly recommend Red, White, and Black is Mr. Woodson's newest book. And it talks about all kinds of failures in our current system. And he doesn't like the pandering. It's the low expectations of African American students. And he does not like that. I think you ought to take a look at that and see what he has to say, because it is a great read. It's a great story listening to Mr. Woodson and what he has to say and what he's evangelizing on where our system is hurting people right now. Yeah, hurting people, not just neutral, but these things are definitely damaging. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, your rights to mortgage information after divorce. Americans see real estate as a better investment than stocks or gold. Is it better to pay off debt or invest? And oh yeah, we've got that featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Myfavoritelender.net. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Dreaming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 1990, the Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, the markets are on the move today, as they do every day. Let's check them out, see where they're heading for you. The Dow Jones now down 97 points. 97 points on the Dow. The NASDAQ up 59. Interesting. So they're moving in opposite directions. S&P 500 down 5.5. Mortgage, the 10-year Treasury, the yield is up one tick, 1.647 right now is where that is. And the mortgage-backed securities, the bond is up 2 ticks, which means interest rates are down ever so slightly. Why? Housing starts for April were reported at 1.569 million unit pace, which is down 170,000 from last month's report of 1.73 million, almost 1.74. Housing permits, which are a good indicator of future starts, decreased to 1.76 million units, down 6,000 from last month's report of 1.766 million. And if you were remembering yesterday when we were discussing our market report with Mary Walters, Realty Pro 100, we're discussing the idea of the shortage there is of housing, of new homes, and how they've come down the building of new homes. Well, this is just further information on that. Again, permits are a good forward-looking indicator. They were up 0.3% in April. Single-family permits down 3.8%. Yeah. We threw out the year-over-year numbers, obviously, because of the complete halt in construction this time last year. Builders are delaying starts due to higher commodity prices like lumber. In fact, 15% of home builders are laying concrete and then not building the house. This counts as housing start, but we're not getting a house out of into the supply. This means the numbers are likely worse than we're seeing. Housing completions were down 4.5%, which makes sense based on this information. Additionally, labor, huge issue. We've talked about that one before. So they got the housing permits at 1.76, starts at 1.56, and we've got the completions 1.45, and that is down 4.4% month over month. Not good numbers there. Yesterday, the NAHB, National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index, which measures builder confidence, remains stable at 83. Anything over 50 is good. 50 is like the baseline. So 83, it was in May. Of the three components, current sales was unchanged at 88. Expectations rose 1 point to 81. Buyer traffic fell 1 point to 73. The NAHB's message to buyers, they should, quote, expect rising prices throughout 2021 as the cost of materials, land, and labor continue to rise. So not good news there. Mortgage bonds continue to trade in a range, which is a technical issue. So we're watching that. We watch that for all of our private clients. If you want information on where the mortgage bonds are heading, we can talk to you about that at any time. But that is the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva, they've got the programs and the products. You just need to make that call. Your rights to mortgage information after divorce. And we've told you before that we're gotten very, very involved in doing some mortgage strategies for divorcing families. And it's a whole unique scenario right there. And one of the things we want to make sure that you have access to, and I don't think I've got it on a screen to go by, but we want to make sure that you do get the better outcomes. And if you're going through divorce right now, one of the things that you really want to be considering, if you have real estate or any other type of real property, is maybe you want to take a look at the workbook. It's a complimentary workbook from Ron Siegel Radio. You can text my DYM workbook, my DYM, it's Divorce Your Mortgage, but my DYM workbook to 79564. Get the free, once you fill out that workbook, you send it back to our team, and we'll complete a whole mortgage, home divorce book for you, an asset book, and get that back to you, give you a lot of great information. But let's talk a little bit about your rights and information, because you got to be careful of this one. How does the spouse who is awarded the marital home yet is not on the current mortgage gain access to information about the current mortgage? See, they're not on it. So how do you get information when you're not actually the one on the mortgage yet? You just got awarded that from the court, and one court says, okay, this is what the rules are, but you've got a contract with another entity. We all know that often only one spouse is on that current mortgage to the marital home. A mortgage is a legally binding contract separate from the divorce decree. The original agreement between the lender and the consumer cannot be modified by the court order. So what happens, and I'm not giving you legal advice, that's not what we do on Ron Siegel Radio. I'm just sharing some information with you. Call and ask your divorce attorney if this is true. So what happens when the spouse who is awarded the marital home isn't on the current mortgage and has no plans to refinance the home immediately into their name? The spouse becomes what's known as successor of interest. Successor of interest. Successor homeowners' rights to information, another sticking point for divorcing spouses who are awarded ownership of the marital home and who are not currently obligated on the existing mortgage, is the hurdle of obtaining information on the current mortgage. Two important sets of CFPB amendments to the RESPA and TILA mortgage servicing rules went into effect on April 19, 2018. One set of amendments for the first time extends the broad array of mortgage servicing protections to successors in interest, such as homeowners who inherited a home after the borrower's death or were awarded the marital home in a divorce. These homeowners now are entitled to protections relating to loan modifications, dispute rights, monthly statements, escrow accounts, servicing transfers, and other rights afforded by TILA and RESPA to home mortgage borrowers. The new rules expand the definition of a borrower for purposes of RESPA and consumer for purposes of TILA to include a confirmed successor in interest. Successor in interest is defined as coextensive with transfers listed in the Garn-St. Germain Act, after which a due-on-sale clause may not be exercised. That's the important part right there. The list includes transfers related to the borrower's death or a divorce or separation agreement, transfers to a spouse or children, or to a trust in which the borrower is a beneficiary. Protections are afforded a successor under RESPA and TILA once a survivor has confirmed the successor's identity and an ownership interest in the property. No other requirement should be imposed as a condition of confirming a successor in interest pursuant to the regulation. CFPB created a special limited request for information applicable to potential successors in the RESPA, Section 1024.36I. If a servicer receives any written request from a person that indicates that a person, quote, may be a successor in interest, unquote, and that contains the name of the transferor, borrower, and sufficient information to enable the servicer to identify the loan at issue, the servicer must respond by providing the potential successor in interest with a written description of the documents the servicer reasonably requires to confirm the person's identity and ownership interest. The servicer must acknowledge receipt within 5 business days and respond substantially within 30 business days. These are just some of the items that we really like to go over with divorcing parties, right? Because as a certified divorce lending professional, it's not about doing a loan. It's about getting you the right information, getting you set up for a better outcome. And that's why we came up with this Divorce Your Mortgage Homeowner Workbook. And you can get your free copy, compliments of Ron Siegel Radio, my DYM Mortgage Workbook.com. Just ask for that. You can text us, my DYM Mortgage Workbook to 79564. My DYM Workbook, 79564. And you can get the workbook, read through the information in there, fill it out, send it back to the team at rj@ronsiegelradio.com, rj@ronsiegelradio.com. We'll fill out the entire book for you, and we'll get you the information that you need so that you can make that better decision, come out with a better outcome That's our goal. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Americans see real estate as a better investment than stocks or gold. Is it better to pay off debt or invest? And oh yeah, we've got that featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.com. myfavoritelender.net. myfavoritelender.net. Reach me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com, licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. The digest gives you all the information that you need. It's going to tell you what the county recorder knows about your property. It's going to tell you what the market believes about your property. It's a monthly email that you get, and it is compliments of Ron Siegel Radio. So let's talk about it. America's Choice Long-Term Investments. That's what our subject is today. What do Americans think? Americans see real estate as a better investment than stocks or gold. Last month, In a post on Liberty Street Economics blog, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York noted that Americans believe buying a home is definitely or probably a better investment than buying stocks. Last week, a Gallup poll reaffirmed those findings. In an article on the current real estate market, Gallup reports, quote, Gallup usually finds that Americans regard real estate as the best long-term investment among several options, seeing it as superior to stocks, gold, savings accounts, and bonds. This year, 41% chose real estate as the best investment, up from 35% a year ago, with stocks a distant second. And if you are watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our social channels, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're actually seeing the chart showing 41%. America's choice of best long-term investments, real estate 41%, stocks 26%, gold 18%, savings account 9%, bonds 3%. The article goes on to say the 41% choosing real estate is the highest selecting any of the 5 investment options in the 11 years Gallup has asked this question, unquote. Is real estate really a secure investment right now, is the question. Some question American confidence in real estate is a good long-term investment right now. They fear that the buildup in home values may be mirroring what happened right before the housing crash a little more than a decade ago. However, according to Merrill Lynch, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Goldman Sachs, the current real estate market is strong and sustainable. As Morgan Stanley explains to their clients in a recent Thoughts on the Market podcast, quote, unlike 15 years ago, the euphoria in today's home prices comes down to the simple logic of supply and demand. And we at Morgan Stanley conclude that this time the sector is on a sustainably sturdy foundation. This robust demand and highly challenged supply, along with tight mortgage lending standards, may continue to bode well for home prices. Higher interest rates and post-pandemic moves could likely slow the pace of appreciation, but the upward trajectory remains very much on course, unquote. Bottom line, America's belief in the long-term investment value of homeownership has been, is, and will always be very strong. If you want more information on this or any of the reports that we talk about on Ron Siegel Radio, feel free to give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I'll get you the full report. I'll show you all the references that are in these reports. We're constantly looking up different information, and we always have sourcing, because every once in a while, we do get people that say, they challenge us, and they say that they want to where do you get that information, Ron? And I'm more than happy to give that to anybody, because we have it. And once people start seeing that, hey, it's not that they're going to question us too often when they realize that the information that we're sharing is all seasoned. It is all sourced. We can give you any backup documentation that you're wanting to see at any given time. So all you have to do is just give us a call at 800-306-1990. Is it better to pay off debt or invest? No doubt that investing is important, whether your goal is to build a retirement fund or to hedge your money against inflation. Having your money stashed away in income-generating accounts carries the potential to increase your financial worth even beyond a high-yield savings account. But if you're carrying debt, you may wonder whether you should focus on paying down outstanding balances before you start investing. There are generally 2 options and no one-size-fits-all answer. You can do both. One approach is to find a balance between paying off debt and investing, splitting your available money between the two. Investing while you're paying off debt allows you to benefit from compound interest and time in the market. The longer you have money invested, the more time you have for your funds to grow. And if your employer matches 401k contributions, you could be leaving money on the table should you choose to delay contributions. You can still make progress on paying off debt while also investing, but keep in mind it can take a little longer to become fully debt-free. Looking for other areas to cut spending frees up cash that you can put towards paying down debt faster while you work on building your nest egg. You might also consider investing only enough to receive your employer's 401k match, then put the rest of your money towards eliminating debt, or you can pay off debt first. The other option is to pause investing while you pay down your debt. This is particularly beneficial if you have high interest rate credit card debt, predatory debt like payday loans or past due obligations. For most people, it makes better financial sense to prioritize these over investing with high interest rate debt. The interest you pay on your balance offsets the returns on funds you have invested. For example, paying interest on a credit card balance with an 18% APR will cost you more annually than the interest you earn on a 10% investment. If you're only carrying low interest rate debt like mortgage and student loan debt, got more flexibility. These interest rates are likely lower than the average investment returns, which means you're not throwing away money on interest if you decide to invest and pay off debt simultaneously. Deciding whether to invest or pay off debt isn't just about the amount of interest you pay or earn. High credit card balances can affect your FICO scores, which can make it more expensive to borrow money since available interest rates are usually affected by credit rating. The drawback of waiting to invest is that you miss out on time in the market if it takes you several years to completely pay off your debt. So, how to pay off debt faster, considering pausing your retirement contributions and other regular investments to aggressively pay off your higher interest rate debt, and then resume contributions once you're debt-free. Any money you currently have invested may continue to benefit from the market's growth. Here's the issue that I'm going to share with you, and I love this one. It is a book that I read, and I always, as soon as I start to mention it, then I end up forgetting the name. Just drives me crazy when that happens, but hey, it's one of those old age things that you come across. But it's a very, very good book, and I've read it a couple of times. I'll see if I can find it while I'm broadcasting here today. But here's the issue. Here's the conversation that we have with it. Richest Man in Babylon. That's it. Richest Man in Babylon. You got to get past it. It's written like an old school type thing. But you got to live off of 70%, according to this book, and I think it's got a lot of merit to it. Live off of 70% of your income. 20% pay off your debt. Use that. Talk to all your creditors. Use 20% to pay off your debt. And then the other 10% always goes to investing. So you're always putting away 10% of your income into an investment account. Talk to your creditors about working out a payment plan. Tell them, hey, this is what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I get everybody paid off, but you're doing some of everything and you're getting into good habits by doing that 70, 20, 10. And then as you get that debt paid off, keep it paid off, live within your means on that 70 part, then increase your money that you're going, and maybe at some point in time you go 20% of your income goes into savings and you live off of 80. Maybe you might even go to staying on that 70 and put 30% of your income into savings and retire earlier. Wouldn't that a novel idea? Retiring with money in the bank. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be good for you to understand? Wouldn't that be good for you to deal with? Just a thought for you. That's Your Credit Matters, and I like to give you all that information as well on a regular basis. Your Credit Matters is important. And as always, I ask you to look at that number and know what your numbers look like. MyFICO.com. No, I don't get paid from MyFICO.com. I am a big, big proponent of MyFICO.com. Why? Because I understand what it means to constantly monitor your credit, to keep track of what's going on. See what's got on your report. Is it accurate? I had something pop up on my credit report that was totally inaccurate, dropped my score by 42 points just recently. And I knew about it within a few hours of it happening, so I was able to get proactive and go and start taking a look and seeing why did that happen, what's causing it, and make the adjustment. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got that featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. We'll talk about that. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a little segment here because I want to get our producers to save it for us as well. We're going to talk about we're going to talk a little bit about how to pay your credit card the right way, how to pay off your credit card the right way. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today, Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL-BRE number 018699452.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The featured home segment brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Myfavoritelender.net. Who's got that featured home? Can we look for it? Can we find it? I think we probably can, but I've got to get it on the screen so we can actually talk about it. Again, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing it right now. It's a property listed by Paula Barrett, 15803 Ocean Avenue in Whittier. 3 bedrooms, a full and a 3/4 bath. Single-story ranch-style home in East Whittier, conveniently located on the borders of La Mirada and La Habra. Corner lot with lush landscaping, smooth surface tile and hardwood flooring, newer windows. Master bedroom is separated from the other 2 bedrooms and includes dual sinks and a walk-in shower. Ceiling fans in each bedroom, large updated kitchen with true wood cabinets, breakfast bar, pendant lighting, granite counters, and stainless steel appliances. Kitchen opens to dining and living room. Hey, it's a big issue having the appliances in there because I hear that it's pretty tough getting a hold of appliances right now. All of it could be yours. Listed $720,000. FHA, 3.5% down, $2,886 a month. 20% down, $2,507 a month. 30%, $2,205 a month. Yes, of course, those are the principal and interest payments. And for those of you keeping score, that would be an APR of 3.869, 3.306, and 2.966, and MLS 217-037. Got to add all the extras to it, obviously. You've got taxes, insurance, HOA fees, if there are any. It doesn't look like there are. On the 3.5% down, you do have to add the mortgage insurance premium. But still looks like a great deal when you think about everything you're getting there. 3 full bedrooms, a full bath, 3 bedrooms, a full bath, and a 3/4 bath on a corner lot. And you're looking at under $3,000 a month, plus the property taxes and insurance. Want more information on this or any property that we talk about on Ron Siegel Radio, or anything we talk about on Ron Siegel Radio? Just call me at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Again, this one featured home brought to you by Paula Barrett. Got some great information on there. That is the featured home segment brought to you by myfavouritelender.net. So I do like to chat from time to time about the right way to pay your mortgage. I'm sorry, the right way to pay your credit cards, not your mortgage. Oosh. The right way to pay your credit cards. And it's very, very simple, but 90% of the people that I talk to don't understand it, so they don't do it the right way. And it's pretty obvious, right? Because in many, many instances, what we don't know, I mean, how would you pay it the right way if you don't know that you're paying it the wrong way? So let's talk about it. Let's chat about what the issues are here. And I'm going to just throw some dates at you, some important information at you. So the thing you need to know is the statement closing date, and the due date. Those are the 2 dates that are most important. So the statement closing date, and both of them are found right on your statement, or you can go online and look at the PDF of the statement. They're going to tell you right there, both of those. Statement closing date, statement due date. Now, the reason that these are important is 30% of your FICO score comes from credit utilization. So let's define credit utilization. And I'm going to use a $10,000 credit card account just because it's easy math, right? You can do it for a $100 card. You can do it for a $1,000 card. It works all the same, but 10,000 just sounds like an easy way of doing things. So say you've got a $10,000 limit on your credit card, and you use it for business, you use it for expenses, whatnot, and at the end of the month of your statement month or statement period, you owe $9,000 on it. You take the $9,000 divided by the $10,000. That means you've got a 90% utilization rate. That is going to be detrimental to your FICO score. That's part of their algorithm. And that part of the score affects 30% of your total FICO score, which ranges from 300 to 850. That's the mortgage at FICO. That's what most of the mortgage companies use. So 300 to 850 means you've got a 550 spread there. And that 30%, so if you do that quick math, it's what, 150, 165 points comes just from that. 90% right there. So I hear people say, oh, Ron, I get the statement and I pay the bill in full. Wonderful. But it doesn't help your score because you brought that down to 0, but they don't report then. They report at the statement closing date, and you were at 90% then. Now, throughout the month, you're using the card, you still got those same business expenses. And by the time you get to your statement date again, you're at $8,500 balance, and now you're at 85% utilization. Again, 8,500 divided by the 10,000, 85% utilization. That is still detrimental to your score. So you say, Ron, I got to use this card for business. How do I correct that? That's what we're here for. We're to tell you how to correct it. So what you want to do is you want to go online and you want to look online at what is your statement closing date. So let's just say, hypothetically, your statement closing date is the 25th of the month. And then it says you've got a payment due date of, say, the 29th of the month. Just throwing out numbers right there. Probably the statement due date would probably be on that one the 20th of the month. So you have basically 25 days to pay that, right? So here's the issue. You go online on the 20th of the month, at that payment due date, maybe the day after, and you look and say, what is your balance then? What is your balance then? So maybe your balance then is $7,800. Well, pay that now. You're going to pay that so that it gets paid, it gets posted before the 25th. Post before the statement closing date. So now when the statement comes out, if you've still used your card, maybe you've got a $1,000 balance by the time the statement comes out because you already paid off the majority of it. You paid that $7,800 already. So how much have you spent in the days that from the 20th, the 21st through the 25th? Right, so you pay that off if that's your normal MO is to pay the bill in full. So you pay that off, and okay, now you've got maybe a 10% or 20% utilization rate. Those are all good for your score. Anything under 10% is great. It helps your score. Below 30% still helps your score, but not as much as under 10%. And you're helping your FICO score by that utilization portion, which is 30% of your credit score. Now, just to be careful, to be safe, the other thing that I want you to do is maybe you're spending this already. Just go into your bank account and set up an auto pay so that there's a payment gets delivered to your bank every month right before the 20th, that payment due date. Because we don't want you to ever be late, right? So we don't want to get late charges on there. So we don't want that to happen. So set up an auto pay for some amount of money, $50, $100, $200, whatever you want to use, so that you're never going to be late, whatever your minimum payments usually look like when you look at your statement. Now, based on what I'm saying here, your minimum payments are going to be much lower now because your balance is lower, your utilization rate is lower. So that's where we're really helping you out in generating these better numbers for you so that you can actually take and get more for your score. Remember, we're working on a 30%. Now, the other big portion of your FICO score is history. 35% comes from history. So think about that. The two of those, 65% of your FICO score comes from history and utilization. So what is the history? That's how old your credit cards are, right? So, or your accounts are. So the older the accounts, the better you're going to get in that rating of that 35% portion. You can't control that one because that's controlled by time. But what you can control is don't ever close unless you've got a real good reason. But don't close a credit card, right? Because the older the credit cards are, the better it is for your score. So any of those things that you can control, keep those credit cards open as long as possible. You've got a 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 20-year-old credit card. That's going to help your score because that's dealing with the 35%. But you want to make sure you keep those balances low. And what that might mean is obviously what I'm saying to you is you're going to be making 2 payments every month on your credit cards. 2 payments, at least 2 every month. And you're going to make those payments all the time because you've got the one auto pay, so you don't even have to think about that one. And then you're going in on, a few days before the statement closing. Now you've got to think about weekends, and you also have to think about how long it takes to post. So I know on most of mine, I put it on my bank today. It's going to go over to the credit card company by tomorrow, and I can actually see it there the day after. All right, so that's how most of mine work. There's one I think that works where you actually have access to it the same day they get it. But for the most part, you're dealing with 2 business days. So make sure you're accounting for 2 business days when you are doing these things. And you're going to watch your credit score jump, right? Because it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a couple of cycles for them to see that, hey, you know something? Mr. Jones doesn't have a high utilization number. And it's sustainable. He's keeping it that way. It's not just a fluke that he got a windfall of money, got his tax return, paid everything off, and now he's going to start running up the balances again. No, it doesn't work that way. So you want to do this on a regular basis, and especially for the couple of months or 3 months, 4 months before you go and make a big purchase that you're going to finance. Home, car, something along those lines where you're buying something large, and it's going to have a real effect on your FICO scores. So it is a discussion on how do you pay your credit card bills the right way. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. As always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean, who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.